We're back with Nick Coltura, IR Manager of Skyharbour Resources. And Nick, you're here today to introduce us to one of your co-flagship projects, that being the Moore Lake Project in the Athabasca Basin. So will you please give us the 101?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me again. So Moore Lake is essential to our project portfolio. We own 100% of it, acquired it from Denison Mines back in 2016, 2017, really been actively advancing it ever since. So this is a project very strategically located in the southeastern portion of the Athabasca Basin near some notable names like we got the Cameco's McArthur River Mine to the north of us, the Keelik Mill to the south, one of only two operating mills in the basin, and we're around 15 kilometers east of Denison's Wheeler River project. So an excellent location, lots of nearby infrastructure. And this is a project that's host to high grade mineralization of uranium. We've had grades here as high as 21% U3O8 over a meter and a half. That was within 6% over 6 meters at relatively shallow depths, sandstone hosted. So it's an excellent project. We know there's high grade there. It's host to a small uranium deposit, and our objective right now is to do more infill and expansion drilling to really drive value, continued value at this project.
So I understand this is the most advanced project in the portfolio. Could you tell us what has been done to date there and what have been the major highlights?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we've been really focused on actively advancing this project since we acquired it from Denison. I've done multiple drill programs in the past. Last year, we did a handful of 1,000 meters of drilling, around 5,000 meters of drilling at the project. We're successful in continuously expanding known zones or lenses of mineralization. There's two primary zones, one, the main Maverick East zone and Maverick zone. Last year, we did some drilling. It consequently actually expanded that known zone of mineralization around 40 kilometers to the northeast. So that's quite significant for us. We know we're continuously expanding that zone. We want to continue to do that with more infill and expansion drilling, build out the resource, and that's exactly what we're doing this year. We have plans to drill 5,000 meters at the project. Again, looking to build out that resource further, and in 2026, look to put out a technical report at the property.
So Skyharbour is known for having a vast project portfolio in addition to a prospector generator model. So can you tell us what is it that positions Moore Lake and the co-flagship Russell Lake project at the center of your 2026 growth plans?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. We do have a multifaceted model, focused exploration at both Russell and Moore Lake. These are two projects that are, again, are advanced stage discovery ready. And then we farm out or, create these option agreements for secondary partner companies that come in and advance some of our secondary assets. But the reason why we're so focused on both Russell and Moore Lake, we think that these two projects can really be or create a lot of value for shareholders considering the geology. We know there's high grade in the ground, the strategic location of the assets being the southeastern portion of the basin. There's nearby infrastructure, and the shallow and the targets that we're after are relatively shallow. So it's significant for us, and we think that again we can create a lot of value by drilling these projects and really focusing our time and effort at these two assets and having partners focused on secondary properties.
Well, Nick, while I have you, I would be remiss not to bring up the fact that there is lots happening in the macro environment for nuclear energy and uranium exploration. Can you tell us how you are positioning yourselves to best leverage all of these shifts for the positive for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been we're seeing a sustained bull market right now in this space. I think it's really, the sentiment's really better than ever. And I think you're seeing countries have this new look or this new stance on nuclear energy, especially over the last number of years. And that's primarily backed by three major macro trends. One being electrification, the need for more electricity globally. Two, decarbonization. Nuclear energy is the only source of scalable, reliable, emissions-free baseload energy sources we have out there. And then lastly, something a bit more topical is this energy security and independence factor. You're seeing this market bifurcate east versus west over the last number of years. You've had, Western utilities being overly reliant on sourcing pounds out east, Central Asia, countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Russia. That's not going to be feasible moving forward. These Western utilities are really going to need to focus on sourcing their pounds from domestic sources of supply, like Canada, like the jurisdictions like the Athabasca Basin. So, for us, we have a large project portfolio in the basin, two high-grade discovery-ready assets. As this market starts to heat up and these utilities look for domestic sources of supply, I think you're going to start to see a lot more M&A in the sector, a lot more M&A in the Athabasca Basin. I think that, how we position the company Skyharbour, we could be a potential suitor to be involved in that M&A activity. So we think we're in an excellent position, especially with, the underlying fundamentals going on in the overall uranium sector.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for introducing us to Moore Lake, and we look forward to having you back soon to discuss the other half of that equation, Russell Lake.
Thanks so much for having me.